Hello Internet! I'm HamsterBomb and you are back for some more Pokemon Theory videos. And I'm really worried, honestly guys, I'm really worried for what's going to be happening in the beginning of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Mainly because I, as a shiny hunter, really want to hunt for a ton of these new awesome Pokemon that we have been seeing lately. I'm really excited to do that. But I've been getting really worried, especially about the starters, specifically being shiny locked. People are really excited about how you get your starter now. It's kind of different and really exciting. We actually get to have a little bit of a personal interaction with our starter after we pick them, where the player actually gets to pick them up and they have a small little cutscene showing them and their starter together. Many people are really excited about this. I was really excited about this when I saw it, even though it's something really little and it really doesn't mean too much for Pokemon to make that extra effort to put that cutscene in there, but it's something really special for the person who picked that Pokemon, and it creates a specific bond between the two of them, and that's what Pokemon really wants to develop more of. It's like, that's why they made Pokemon and Me. They want people to feel like they have a better relationship with their Pokemon. But the problem with doing that is it actually might force those Pokemon to be shiny locked, and I'll explain why in just a bit. But Pokemon, I just want to be clear, does want us to have that more of a relationship with our Pokemon, and that is why they have these videos in here. I can't say for sure if these things will be locked, but I've got a really bad feeling that they will be. And let me explain why, getting into what shiny locks are and why we have them. I, as a shiny hunter, of course, hate them. But I kind of understand their horrible, horrible reasoning of why they have to exist. The reason we have shiny locks, according to Nintendo, is that they don't want players who are playing their game and say they see several cutscenes with Groudon or Kyogre, for example, in the new Oris games. They see them several times through multiple cutscenes before they even get the chance to encounter them. And then all of a sudden, this red or blue legendary, let's just say Kyogre, you see this blue whale legendary throughout, the game, through all these cutscenes as you're chasing it down, and all of a sudden when you go to encounter it, it is magenta. It is freaking pink! Now, sure, as a shiny hunter, you'd be like, yes, you've been freaking out, that's exciting! But for Pokemon, they find that to be really disruptive to the actual gameplay. They don't want that to happen. Now, they don't do this to all legendaries, and people have been kind of confused about why that happens, and I believe it is mainly because of those videos. They don't want a player to see a Pokemon beforehand or see it afterwards when its colors suddenly change. Like, it doesn't actually represent what it really is. That's a problem. And it's mainly a problem for Pokemon. So in X and Y, basically every single legendary was shiny locked, and I think the reason behind that is Xerneas, of course, you see in videos beforehand. Yveltal, same thing, identically. Mewtwo, you see him in a cutscene before you battle him. Unfortunately, same deal. Now, Zygarde, now we're getting to some of the other ones that are shiny locked that start to bother me. That Pokemon just kind of starts handing out the locks. Their reasoning for doing this is because of videos, but some Pokemon, like Zygarde, don't have them. Just like the legendary bird trio. They don't really have cutscenes. You see them in battle, and maybe that's actually a video because they kind of show up and leave and you don't even get a chance to throw like a ball or anything. Maybe that's actually a video and because of its programming it didn't work. But what about Zygarde? Some of these Pokemon in shiny locks don't make any sense, but my point being, Pokemon's excuse for even having them is because of those videos. They don't want someone to see in their video a purple Mewtwo tail and all of a sudden they go into battle and it becomes green. Or they're seeing this very, very green Rayquaza in front of them and then they get excited about it, go into battle, and it's black. Now, once again, I know we'd all be excited about it, but that's what they think. They seriously think we'd be upset. And if anything, we're upset the lock is even there. But either way, that's just why it's there. And now going on to the more pressing matter of what is going to happen in the newer generation if these guys are actually shiny locked, because knowing that, for one, there has never been a shiny lock on starters ever before. Never happened. And because of that, people generally soft reset in the beginning of their new Pokemon games. And it's really, really hard for us to do that. It honestly is, because we are just as excited as you guys are. We want to blast through that game. We're really excited about it. We are big fans of Pokemon. We want to see. Problem is, though, And it's just like what happened with Xerneas and Yveltal. People were shiny hunting for them. They were resetting constantly, trying to find these shinies, and they couldn't do it because Pokemon locked them. And there's no way to find out until you crack the code in the game, which is not going to happen on release day. So people are going to be resetting so much for these starters, and it might not even be worth it. I'm really scared about going for a shiny Rowlet, honestly, is what I would really want to do in my game, but I don't know. I have no idea, because based on those videos, Pokemon would have to have made an extra video assuming the Pokemon was shiny, which means that, say, or they ignored it and they actually let it go through the lock and you see it in cutscene, which I honestly doubt. If their reason for making the shiny locks to begin with is because of the videos, I doubt that they're going to let it shine and let you pick it up in its normal color pattern and then go back to it being shiny again. They'll never do that. So the problem is they must either make 2 videos, one where the Pokemon is not shiny, and then a second where the Pokemon is shiny. And if that's the case, then the cutscene prior, when you look at the lineup, one will be shiny there. You know? Okay, that's not too unreasonable though, I think, for them to do, because think about it. In the 2nd generation, I'm specifically talking about the remakes of the 2nd generation, so Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can actually go up to the 3 Pokemon that Professor Elm has for you and flip through all 3 of them and their sprite before they even can become a Pokemon. Technically, like, they have to be generated to even show you that sprite, but they could be shiny in there. That's how you tell. And that was really exciting. It was really awesome to hunt that way because each one could shine and you never knew which one it could be. That would be really exciting if Pokemon actually found a way to do that in cutscene. Now, it's really not that difficult to go through that much more effort to put in the programming to let that happen, and it's the same concept of letting a character through different cutscenes have different skins or customized things that they're wearing. Kind of like in Monster Hunter, like I also play. Your armor can change based on what cutscene you initiate and you're still wearing your armor. It doesn't change, right? That's silly. So, if Pokemon goes through the extra effort and makes those other videos, I'd be super excited to do this shiny hunt. It could be any of the 3, or assuming it is locked until you pick your starter, it might seriously be locked permanently. If you walk up and see them in cutscene in video, and that Pokemon isn't shiny, I don't know if it's really worth resetting for. Would you guys do it? I don't know if I could, because one of the worst feelings ever as a shiny hunter is feeling that what you're doing is pointless. And that happens when you go on really long hunts that have no reward whatsoever, and you keep telling yourself, oh, this is pointless, I shouldn't be doing this, there's no reason to. But the only thing that is going to be happening in the beginning of these games for shiny hunters is they don't know at all if they're shiny locked or not. But the thing is, no one has brought this up yet, and people are just assuming they will shine like always. I don't know about that. I'm really scared about that, and honestly, I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments below about the shiny starters possibly being locked from us in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think that these shiny starters are going to be locked from us forever, or will we have the opportunity to get them and Pokemon will actually go through that extra effort to make those videos showable to us when we do find shinies? I think that would be the coolest option if they could do that. That is really putting them to the test in terms of coming up with new content and promoting shiny Pokemon, but I don't know if they'll do it. I want them to do that, but I don't think they will. That's just my opinion, but like I said, I want to hear yours down in the comments below. So thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next Pokemon Sun and Moon video. See you!